overtime, but again, I say Anthony Davis. Most people would say top 5 players. Kick it in, and we're going to suddenly say, "Oh, there he was."
No, Skip, right? we can't do a film and tape and evidence that says Anthony Davis just can't kick it in. He, at this point in time, he is what he is.
Okay, Russ is doing about the best he can do.
Right.
I don't like the fit. I say
I don't like the fit. But Skip, we got to give him credit though. He's gonna turn the ball over. But I think he's taking less bad shots.
Okay, you still don't have a reason. You don't have Kendrick Nunn. You've had some COVID issues. But think about this. I look at the 16 wins you have, and I can't find a signature where I say, aha, there I saw it, because every game that you won, Miami without Jimmy Butler, right? Luka last night out. I can keep going all down the list. They're all flawed. Jaylen Brown didn't play the night at Staples. Would you realize or believe that the 16 wins came against teams that are now 56 games under 500, minus 56?
Yeah, that's why. Because we beat them.
So they counted, when you beat them, it counted like 10
No,
losses.
they don't count that.
Minus 56, under 500 are the teams that you've beaten, the 16 teams. Now check this out. You have now played the easiest schedule in the Western Conference so far. You've had like 2/3 of the games at home.
I'm getting tapped here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Guys, good morning.
Thank you, phony ghost, for choking away. Shannon's back with me. LeBron James, your man, the quote-unquote greatest ever?
Yep.
He made his 4th 3 with 7.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You only needed a 5th 3 to win the bet. And he went gag, gag, gag. He went over 3 the rest of the way in regulation and in overtime. Thank you, LeBron.
I just knew I had to hit the first 2. I got it. I got it.
Jinxed it. Don't do that. But, you know, get the win there. We have a packed show, guys. A lot happened even in the middle of the night, including the latest between Skip and Kevin Durant. I'm looking forward to Skip's reaction there. But we will start with the Lakers because LeBron and company survived in OT with a 107-104 victory over the Luka Doncic-less Mavs. The King, Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook combined for 67 points, but it was undrafted rookie Austin Reeves who saved the day with a game-winning 3 to ice the game. So Shannon, your thoughts. Scale of 1 to 10, how impressive were the Lakers?
A 2.
A 2?
I only gave them a 2, Skip, because they won the game. I mean, let this sink in. Jenny just mentioned it in the read. Skip, the big 3, at least all 3 of them had at least 20 points. LeBron had to play 43 minutes. AD got it going in the second half. Russ hit a 3. I don't know where Russ hit this 3 from, considering how bad he missed the 3 before he took that one. 28-footer from an undrafted rookie to beat the Dallas Mavericks without Luka Doncic? That's not impressive. That's not. The mere fact that LeBron had to play 43 minutes, the mere fact that you're in overtime with a team without their best player, and you have all 3 of your big guns, and it takes that in order to beat that team. No. Skip, I just, the way LeBron started the game, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to make quick work of y'all. Got out to a blazing start, hit 3s from Brownsville. Later, he's going to hit one from Laredo.
Yeah, that's a long way.
That was you saw that when he put a logo in the 3rd.
He logo LeBron.
Yeah, you saw that, didn't you? Okay, I'm glad
that
you
only
saw
counted 3.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. And then I was like, okay. And then LeBron kind of like put it in cruise control from there. I didn't think he was as assertive as he was to start the game. And, you know, Skip, I'm perplexed. Something's got to be wrong with AD. There is no way, Skip, you can tell me AD can have more turnovers than points in the first half, and he's perfectly fine. I didn't even recognize him. I'm like, AD, what are you doing? You're right there at the basket. Stop passing it out. Stop trying to get
his knee still aching.
Oh, okay, with the sit down. Just go ahead and take a break because Skip, you know if the knees bother you and it lingers, it's only you don't make injuries. Injuries don't get better by playing a particular sport. I don't care what the injury is. You can't heal it by playing a sport. Take the time off and let's get healthy because this is not good. And then, but just the turnover, Skip. They had 14 turnovers. 10 of them come between Russ and AD. They had 10 of the 14. Skip, that's too many. I can't give that. Like I said, the only reason I gave them a 2 is because they won the game. There was nothing else impressive about this. because you needed all of that. You needed heroics. You needed LeBron to play 43 minutes, Russ to play 42 minutes, AD to play almost 40 minutes, and you needed think about what also you got skipping overtime. You needed 2 7-footers to collide together from the Maverick, lose the rebound. Wayne Ellington gets it, runs to the corner almost like a Ray Allen skip. The only thing is he didn't backpedal. He took it and ran, pump fakes the guy, hits a 3 just to get you to overtime. And you needed Austin Reeves to hit a 28-footer. And he got fouled, Skip.
He did.
In order to win you the game.
That is correct. You didn't need the foul. No.
Skip, but how you missed that foul, Skip? I guess they said,
I don't know. I guess because it went in. You missed it. It's blatant.
It's blatant.
Yeah.
So for me, Skip, they won. I'm going to give them a 2. But that's all I got for you.
I'm going to go you 2 better. I can't muster up any more on the 1 to 10 impress scale than a 0 for this one. I got a 0. I'm sorry.
I thought you give me 2 better. I thought you were going to give me 4. You mean 2 worse.
2 worse. But in my scheme of things, that's 2 better.
Okay.
Obviously, there's no Luka Doncic.
No.
He was the, once again, preseason favorite to win the MVP this year, even though he's looking a little heavy. But the point is, if he can't go, and they have a horrendous night from the three-point line. They shoot 27% from 3, and they actually made a few late, including one Kleba banker that was as lucky as you can get because the bank was open and he robbed it.
Yes.
That's what happened. Off the glass from a little bit of a side angle,
right.
But it was straight luck, and it followed up the rush shot that was, you could argue luck because I gave a 2% chance of making. He was 0 for 3, and all 3 of them had been West bricks.
Yeah, when he shot that, I was like, that's not.
Okay.
It went in. Okay, Russ, I trust.
So as Shaq once said, one lucky shot deserved another.
Yes.
But I even add that one on to the total. Would you believe that the Dallas Mavericks missed 32 three-point shots last night? 32? Mm-hmm. And it went to the buzzer of overtime?
Yeah.
Well, that's just wrong. If you've got your big 3, and AD's numbers aren't horrible, he got slightly outplayed by Porzingis.
Right.
They each had 12 rebounds, but AD had 20 points and Porzingis had 23 points. And look, Dallas won the boards 51-46 without Luka, obviously.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's a bad sign. You did turn it over too many times. That's a bad sign. And yet, let's see what happens, shall we, down the stretch. So obviously, I'm only rooting for my bet. I don't really care whether Dallas or LA wins or loses, and I kept thinking, surely the Lakers, because you want to talk about couldn't hit the broadside of a Texas barn. They just couldn't. They couldn't connect on anything close to a three-point shot down the stretch of the fourth quarter. So let's see what LeBron did. Let's see his fourth 3 with 7:31 left in the third quarter, because he was stroking it, man.
Yeah.
I thought, you got this. This is his fourth.
Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one he hit from Brownsville, Laredo area.
That's the one. That's the one that I said. Okay, you got me. I said to myself, Shannon, you got me.
That's what I was thinking.
You bet me he would make at least 5 threes. And that made him 4 out of 6, which by LeBron standards, he came in making 35% of his threes.
Right.
And he's a career 34.5% three-point shooter.
Right.
That's a hot night.
Yes.
And usually he can cap it off.
Right.
I'm thinking he'll at least make a couple of more somewhere along the trail. So can we then see what happened through the fourth quarter? Because we have 3 attempts in the fourth quarter, if we could see. He thought the one that was nothing but backboard, when he let it go, I thought, okay, that looked like that was with conviction and authority, and I thought, okay, you got me. That's going to go in. And by the way, the middle shot, the one that hit nothing but backboard, was to they were down 1, so that was with 1:21 left, and then 9.1 seconds was when he sort of had to force up over Kleba, but that was to tie the game.
Right.
Okay, now, you mentioned the Ray Allen shot back in Game 6 of 2013 NBA Finals, when I thought my Spurs surely had the championship in hand, as did most of the Heat fans, because they were pouring
Everybody
out.
was leaving. They were leaving.
Up 5 with
like
18 seconds left. Are you kidding me? So LeBron took the last shot, right, to tie, and he bricked it. And it was a long rebound out to Chris Bosh. I don't know why Tim Duncan wasn't in the game, and he kicks it to Ray, who hits the greatest clutch shot I've ever seen from the corner.
No question about that.
But net.
Right.
He had to make sure he dribbled one time backward to get his feet behind the line. Okay, this had faint memories of that to it, just faint memories, because if we could see what happened then at the end of regulation last night, we got the LeBron shot, and it bounds up, and all of a sudden it's Porzingis and Kleba, and they are fighting for a rebound that they own. It's Dallas's basketball.
Right.
It's one or the other has to come away with it. And if one or the other cleanly comes away with the ball, the game is over and you lose.
All you got to do is, hey, if Kleba or Porzingis says, my ball,
Right.
the other one's going to let it go, but they fight like, no, I got it. And AD somehow gets his hands in there and
I don't know. It felt like they just out-wrestled each other for the ball, and it just goes sideways. And then Wayne Ellington.
Watch AD, Skip.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
Yeah. Well, it was coming loose by then. But Wayne Ellington had to make the pump fake. It was a sweet shot.
Yes.
I'll give you that. That's the shot of the night by far, because Wayne Ellington saves their bacon with this shot, reminiscent faintly of the Danny Green shot, which was 2 years ago on November 1st at Dallas. Right? Against Luka as a baby bird at that point, right? Okay. So then we go to overtime. If we could then see that we got the shot one more time here. We go to overtime thanks to Wayne Ellington. Way to go. And we've got LeBron did score. It's an overtime when he just got loose down the lane and dunked it, so I give you that. But that was he was very quiet in overtime. And then if we could see what you brought up, the Russell Westbrook shot from 3. Yep. And then kick to Russ, and Russ drives it across the lane. And that was, Russ, an obvious foul. He got knocked out. But Russ usually makes chaotic, bad decisions.
I thought he was going to charge, Skip.
I did too.
Because he left his feet. I was like, Russ, don't leave your feet. Ah, man, come on. Thank you, Tim Hardaway, for turning me running. Because you could have drew that charge.
But it wound up being a really good decision by Russ.
Yes.
Which brings me to Austin Reeves, an undrafted rookie grew up in Arkansas, went to the University of Oklahoma. He went to Wichita State first, but I watched him a lot at the University of Oklahoma. He can really play because he'll play both ends. He just plays hard, but I wasn't sure how it was going to translate because there was a story that the Pistons were interested in drafting him late in the second round, but he said, no, I don't want to be drafted. I'd rather be a free agent. He actually wanted to come to the Lakers and see if he could make it. Kid's got guts. He's got nerve. So the weirdest thing is happening. Last year, down the stretch, it started to feel like Alex Caruso became your closer. Like they were going to Alex Caruso to make shots and plays down the stretch. Well, look what Austin Reeves did last night. He plays
32 minutes.
32 minutes, and he played almost all the fourth quarter and all of overtime. You're kidding me. He's an undrafted rookie, and he feels like he's the safest bet on the floor to me. Well, how weird is that?
Well, we talked about it, Skip, because we just thought, you and I both thought, that he's getting these minutes once some of these guys that are nicked, once they come back, Skip, he's not going to be getting those minutes. Yes, he is.
Because you would think, would he let Carmelo close these games? No, he's fallen out of the closing rotation, right? Melo didn't play, right? Is there anybody else? Would
Maybe that would have been Monk. Monk does get some in the closing rotation.
I know, but it's starting to feel like this is where Frankie V wants to go, to Austin Reeves.
Because to the point what you're making is that he really tries to play both ends of the court. He's basically, I think he's the Caruso. I think Caruso is a better defender, but I think he's a better offensive weapon. Now, obviously, he can't run the offense like Caruso because they had no problem with Caruso having the ball in his hands, initiating the offense, even with LeBron on the court late in the ball game. So he can't do all that, but his three, he can shoot the ball better than Caruso can. I think Caruso is a better defender.
And what's weird is Austin Reeves wasn't a great three-point shooter in college.
No.
I don't know, but he's stroking him like he really means it.
He does, Skip, and I think the thing is when you come with LeBron, you know you're going to be wide open because that's why he threw the ball to Russ. There was nobody even close to Russ. So he's like, and the thing is, Skip, I was like, Brian, why would you pass the ball to Russ after you just saw him miss the whole rim by like 14 feet? And LeBron come right back to he forgot that Russ just threw up an air ball right back to the corner, and Russ forgot that he threw up an air ball. Russ would have made a heck of a corner. Because Russ, when you beat Russ for a touchdown, Skip, he like...
He has no memory, no memory. I agree with that. That is correct.
That didn't happen,
Yep.
and he just used it. He shot that with conviction,
He
and
did.
bang, right at the bottom of the net.
He did. So Austin Reeves is fearless. He looks like he believes he could play when he stepped on the floor. And he talked last night after the game about being in Las Vegas and trash-talking LeBron because he won't take anything off anybody. He is in awe of LeBron and Melo and AD and all the rest. He's in awe of Dwight and Rondo, and he says all the right things. But on the floor, he and Caruso share this. They play hard and they play smart.
Right.
And you can trust them to do the right thing, except there was one play, there was a timeout earlier in overtime where LeBron just lit him up in the sideline huddle for blowing a defensive rotation. But the kid doesn't, it doesn't bother him at all. In fact, he said, I welcome that. And I believe he does because it doesn't bother him.
Think about this, Skip. You're an undrafted rookie. And in the closing rotation with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, you're in that rotation. How much confidence must they have to have in you? Russ threw him the ball. Russ could have taken the shot. He was right there at the rim. He threw him the ball. We've seen LeBron pass him the ball. Skip, like Caruso was out there like, man, I must be okay. I'm in the closing lineup. That says something.
Who knew? And LeBron's already nicknamed him AR-15. He's AR-15. So we got MJ-10 up in New England. We got AR-15 at Staples, right?
Yes.
AR-15, really? Interesting. So two undrafted white guys are your closers now. They're your most dependable cog down the stretch.
Yeah, but there's a play that goes unnoticed, Skip, but I don't know if you saw it. They had a 2-on-1, and Wayne Ellington, busts his butt to get back and knocks it out of.
He stopped it.
Those are the kind of plays, Skip, that don't show up in the box score. It doesn't show up anywhere. But you understand, and I guarantee you when they show film today, if they these are the type of plays that leads to win. But I know you saw what LeBron James do. Skip, Jim, do we got any of that footage? I want to show you what GOAT is. Now, this man is about a week and a half away from his 37th birthday. Can we see this, Jim? You got it. I want you to watch this, Jenna. I heard a little birdie say he might enter the dunk contest. He might. See that? You got it looking at it? They are amazing. Look at this, Skip.
This is absolutely ridiculous. That's a 37-year-old dude.
And by the way, he hurt his ankle on the play. So maybe he should be a little more careful at 42. 37
He was
years old.
up so high, Skip. Because normally when you go up, you're like, okay, I'm about to come down. But when you up too high, you're like, I'm not down yet. Did you see the one they called goaltending? And he hit his head, almost gave himself a concussion, hitting his head on the backboard. There it is right here, Skip. This is not a goaltending. You know it, Skip. You know it.
I thought he goaltended.
No, you didn't.
I thought the ball was starting to come down.
Oh, LeBron,
the ball had reached its peak and was
look at this.
down.
That's
It's coming down. The ball is coming down.
That is over the square.
I give you the lead, but I don't give you the not a goaltend. It's a goaltend.
No.
They called it correctly. Yep.
Not in the house of the goat.
Okay, look.
Not in the house. He hit it with it, Brian. Not in the house of the
I'm
goat.
just glad he didn't turn his ankle on that play because you know how you get a little older and you try something, you say, I can't do that anymore. That was like that sort of tomahawk that he did, and it's like, be careful because you turned your ankle.
You know that commercial with the Tumbo? No.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying LeBron has turned into Matumbo?
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying y'all need to stop trying to challenge this man at the rim.
He is 6'9".
Don't do that, Skip. No, hold on. But what about that scout knew he was 6'9"? Athleticism. He doesn't have it anymore.
Well, the problem is what I think the scout was saying, he can't sustain it because everything you showed happened earlier.
Yeah.
So later, then he goes quiet in the fourth quarter. Do I have my fourth quarter box here? He just kind of quiet in the fourth. He was 2 of 7, but he was 0 for 3, as I showed you, from 3 for 4 points. He did not impact the game late, and then in overtime he went really quiet because he just took one shot, a dunk.
Yeah.
It was an easy dunk, and scored 2 points in overtime. Well, I don't know. He starts to run out of gas sooner than he used to.
Well, of course he is going to run out of gas sooner than he used to. And the thing is, he's having to exert himself earlier. A lot of times, LeBron was just like, okay, I'm gonna find my way. I'm gonna let you guys get this thing going. But because of AD's inefficiency early in the ball game, he had to exert himself more than he probably wanted to, considering AD only had 4 points in the first half of the ball game. He had almost as many fouls as he had points, and he had more turnovers than he had points. So LeBron is having to exert himself. And Skip, the dude played all the fourth quarter. He's 43 minutes.
Okay.
LeBron should have played at max. LeBron should have played 30 minutes last night against the Mavericks without Luka. I'm saying the absolute max he should have played.
Okay, so your Lakers are now 16-13, and I look back at the 16 wins. I can't find a signature where I say, oh, okay, I see that. Like, that's that team we thought it would be, right? Do you remember any game in the 16 wins? Because even some of the wins, like they beat Miami in overtime at home, but there was no Jimmy Butler. And then you keep going to, they beat Boston, they got revenge on Boston at home, and there was no Jaylen Brown. And then last night, they beat the Mavericks at Dallas with no Luka.
Well, hold on. When they was losing games without LeBron, you didn't say that.
We're approaching the Hydro Dam. You have a plan, Kate?
I just figured we'd wing it.
What?
I'm joking, dude. Have a little faith. Okay, we take out the comm tower first, then sneak in and inspect their safety violations.
Wow. Look at the sky. That can't be good.
Tachyon disruptions are affecting the atmosphere.
So, what am I looking at? Past and future sky?
More like radiation trails.
Oh, good. I feel much better about going outside now.
Okay, where to first? There's a communications array nearby. If we can disable it, we'll have a short window where I will be blind and unable to call for backup.
Let's get to that array before we're spotted. You got it. What was that?
The closer you get to the origin point, the stronger the disruptions get. They're radiating out of that place like waves. So be careful down there. Tachyon exposure isn't usually lethal, but I've never encountered levels like this.
Wait. Not usually lethal? You're not helping, man.
I'm monitoring your vitals from here. You're fine.
Then lead with that.
You're not alone. One less worry.
a lot of regrets, okay?
The storms are a symptom of a larger disruption in the fabric of reality. It could mean complete temporal collapse, time folding in on itself. We'll know more once you get eyes on their project.
Man.
I don't have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.